Good morning, everyone. Today, I am sitting down with some of our guests here. One who is the very first successful Icelandic American travel vlogger with over 500 travel videos and over 80 million views on YouTube. Mr. Finn Snow. Hi, Finn. Hi. Good morning. Yes, and together with him is the ever beautiful Miss Scuba PH 2017, Sherlyn Doloriel.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much,
so much
for coming here to be one of our guests today.
My pleasure.
And of course, with us here as well, he is an underwater videographer, as well as the host of his own YouTube channel, Critter Hunter. It's on his on his T-shirt, right? It's there, and with over 200 videos and 300,000 views on his channel, which showcase rare and seldom seen marine species from around the world. Yes, Justin Carmack. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Justin.
Oh, thank you. I feel like this is a group therapy session or something.
Maybe it is. All right, so hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. So Finn, let's start with you.
Sure.
And so how long have you been a YouTuber?
Well, I uploaded my first video about 5 or 6 years ago. I never took it seriously at the beginning. I just wanted to document my travels because prior to making any YouTube videos, I went to like 30 countries without even almost taking a picture. And then I looked back then I said, why didn't I do that? And then my parents actually gave me a camera to basically take a picture and show them back home. And then I found out with YouTube, you can actually make a living out of it. So I was watching YouTubers, what they're doing. I thought to myself, I can do that.
Yeah.
So I started YouTube. So I would say about 5 years ago or so.
Oh, just 5 years ago.
Took it seriously about 2.5 years ago. And it was just like a hobby. Then I realized you can actually make something out of it. So then I decided to go full time, take it seriously. And so I would say maybe 2.5 years.
2.5 years of taking it seriously. Okay. And do you remember like the first video that like you uploaded?
Yeah. It was a hike in Iceland with my cousin. And I just wanted to recreate some of my favorite YouTubers, Casey Neistat. So I wanted to do a hike. And yeah, I remember it, yes.
Okay. How long was that video?
It's only a 5-minute video, but I think I published that maybe 6 years ago. But that was just, I wanted to try and make a video.
Okay. So, you can start small and then build from that.
Absolutely.
Right. All right. So you did mention that you started taking videos because you wanted to show it to your parents, right? But then at the same time, you already had the idea that you can upload it on YouTube.
Absolutely. And I know you could make a living out of it. So I thought, I shared some of my travels when I was in New Zealand, and then I went to America, and then I bought my first camera, and I said, why don't I just try to make YouTube videos, and flew to Philippines and started vlogging. It's my first country to vlog. So,
wow.
I just tried. Took that big leap of faith.
Why the Philippines though? You haven't met.
No, well,
Sherlyn.
Everybody thinks people go to Philippines because of they found a partner. I went because I googled Cebu and I saw caves and waterfalls. So I saw that. I booked a ticket. I'm off. That's why I came to the Philippines, because of the nature.
Okay. Yeah, we do have one of we're one of those places that has a lot of nature.
Oh yeah.
Jungle and the sea.
Absolutely.
You started your video, so you started editing your videos.
Yes.
Up until now.
Well, I started editing videos when I was a kid.
Okay.
My first videos were snowboarding, skiing, and then I studied, of course, but I've always edited everything myself.
Okay.
So I'm a one-man crew, one-man production. I film, I travel, I explore, I edit, I upload. It's all one-man team as of now, but I can already tell I'm looking into the future and I want to expand a little bit, so maybe I'll be able to hire an editor in the future, but as of now, everything you see is done by me.
We are from Oceanclick, and we do want to know what tools you're using, because that's the kind of company we are as well. We do.
Let's geek out a little bit.
Yes, let's geek out a little bit. Yes, exactly. Sure. So what tools are you using when you do video editing?
I use Sony Vegas, I use Filmora, I use Photoshop, Lightroom, sound effects, I use sound design websites, music websites, color grading applications, Magic X, just to name a few.
The whole shebang, you think?
I don't know if anyone knows any of that.
Probably our video editors would know. So what is your YouTube channel hoping to inspire?
Well, at the beginning, you really aren't making... Well, I didn't start out to inspire anyone. But as you grow and you get such a big audience, you start to think about everything you put on the internet.
Okay.
So every word you say, every scenery you see, you gotta think about things. And I think about inspiring people, so I make sure that everything I produce has some good intention around it. For example, now in the pandemic, I inspire, well, not inspire, but I give people maybe hope about the future. You know, because we're so blessed here in Darwin, we're able to dive, we're able to explore. So maybe I'm inspiring others about the future. You know, hey guys, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So we just have to wait it out. So perhaps with my videos right now, I'm able to do some inspiration with that. But I don't set out to inspire, but I just let it come with it. You know?
True. With a lot of audience, I mean, it comes with the job description, like, even if you didn't really set out, but there's still that kind of responsibility, isn't there? Yeah. All right. So what has been the most, like, rewarding travel moment?
Ooh. There's so many, I guess.
Like, but what goes in mind, like?
Most rewarding, I would say the places I went to, which were really hard to get to. Even though you don't enjoy the journey that much, but at the end, when you come back and you look back at it, maybe those were the kind of most rewarding trips. For example, me and Sherlyn went to Balabac. 3 days.
Wow.
To get to within Philippines. 3 days completely to get there. So,
like,
and
by
that's
food or by
travel, boat, staying boat.
So, there's a lot of boat rides.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gorgeous place. But then again, in terms of being fulfilled or rewarded by something, I would always have to say that scuba diving is the most rewarding for me.
So is that the reason that you are now staying in the Philippines, scuba diving?
Many things. There's, islands, jumping between islands, probably one of my favorites. Exploring, the ease of travel, and of course the underwater scenery is probably one of the best, if not the best in the world. So I can see myself like this is the place I want to be. Because you can continue forever doing the same thing.
There's a lot to discover underwater.
Yes.
All right. But throughout your travels, have you had any like mishaps that happened and on the road? Like,
yeah, lots.
What was the most notable mishap?
Maybe, well, I've broken all my camera gears, that's for one. I've crashed maybe 5 drones so far.
Wow.
Probably like money-wise, that's probably the most damaging ones that I've done is I crash things, damage things, but that just comes with the type of filming I do. It's very adventurous, so I take a lot of risk with that. But in terms of like other mishaps, there really hasn't been any that's worth talking about. Really, it's been pretty smooth. Very smooth ride, yeah.
Awesome. So if there is something that you can share, like a tip that you can share to like travel hacks for travel vlogging, like any tips you can give us?
Well, I would just always say you can actually explore all of Philippines with a motorbike. The number one travel hack I would say, get a motorbike. I run a small scooter and I've gone to 60 provinces in the Philippines on that scooter. That's how you can see the most.
Oh, wow.
So if you're always flying, if you're always doing expensive stuff, you can still go budget and see a lot more. So
with a
just be open-minded, I would say. Be open-minded about staying in some remote areas. Don't believe everything you see on the internet.
Okay. Unless it's from your channel. That, I mean, you have the videos to prove it's what it is.
True.
Right? Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And I do have some questions for Justin. So same question, Justin. Like, what can you still remember? Like the first video that you uploaded?
Well, I just started during the pandemic. I was actually a travel writer, and I traveled all over the world. And then during the pandemic, it wasn't just lockdown for me; it was lockdown for the entire world. So I didn't have any more clients to fly me wherever. I didn't have any more. Even my website, nobody was searching for what I was writing for. So the entire business went away, and I said, if I have to start over, I want to do a YouTube channel or video platform with underwater videography, because that's my passion. Okay. Before it was travel writing, so I started that, and then during my career, I started scuba diving, and then it changed to scuba travel. So then when I had to start again, I wanted to do video. So, but that was during the pandemic. So I'm starting a scuba channel when I can't scuba, and that's how we met. But
I mean, like, why?
So I started doing interviews, like online interviews with world famous marine biologists, doing educational kind of videos in a studio. I built a little studio, and so I had to do that until like July. That's when the lockdown, they allowed scuba diving here, the mayor. And then I hit the water. I was diving like 4 days a week, trying to video everything.
You said you started it during the pandemic. And I mean, like, why?
Well,
what happened? Like, what's the story behind that?
Well, I just told you the story. I had to change careers, and that's the perfect time to do it. I could... what else was I going to do? I wasn't going to keep travel writing during the only time in my life or anybody alive's life where they can't travel. That's bad business to write about travel right now.
So it was really intentional.
Yeah, of course. I mean, my entire business died. And I'm like, well, I could easily grow it again. I could just take a break. But my passion is underwater videography, critters, and scuba diving. So why not? If you're going to start new, start with your passion.
Start with your passion.
And it's just exploded, and it's, now I can build a job around that.
So you've been really passionate about underwater, whatever, like creature, videography, and like marine biology ever since, like,
so
as long as you can remember?
Not as long as I can remember. I mean, I grew up in the mountains in Colorado, and I didn't know I never even seen the ocean until I was like 20 or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then in 2010, I went on a university trip to Southern Africa, and I totally fell in love with travel. I mean, this is such a long story, but basically I got certified in Mozambique to scuba dive. And so at the pretty much same time, I totally fell in love with travel and experiences, and all the, like, every single thing you look at is brand new and crazy and adrenaline and like amazing. It's like a little tiny kid in a candy store, like at the exact same time I fell in love with scuba diving. I started out with, back in the day I've had iPhones with the cases because I had sponsors from like all these companies. Sea Life. I've tried everything. GoPro sponsored me for a long time.
Wow.
And then I used to go to Indonesia every year, and they would give me a RX 100 4 or 5, whatever. It's a nice camera. And then I started using the G7X3, or 1, and then 2, 3. And I have that now, but I just recently, a month ago, got a cheap little Olympus TG6 because it has a telescope mode, basically super, super macro. And I've just fell in love with it. It's half the price of my other cameras. You can knock it around.
Really?
I abuse
but
it.
That's what you need it to do.
Yeah, I abuse it. So I flooded it like 4 times, and it's not broke. My other cameras just get one drop of water and they're ruined. So I love this camera.
Are you using
they
the
got
same
this
thing?
little cute
Sherlyn
TG6 camera.
You're using the same thing.
I use a big
Yeah.
rig, heavy duty Sony full frame.
Okay.
But it's
Well, I'm
only-
doing
it's
super
really- the
cinematic,
strength of
slow
it is filming
motion,
white stuff.
critters like
The
this.
TG6 is like the best camera for the value of the money to film small things, but it's also decent white. But my camera is mostly if you want to film big things, it's pretty good at
Super macro.
as well. All arounder, pretty decent, yeah.
I see.
That's the strength, yeah.
Okay.
All arounder, pretty decent, yeah.
So that one is really for macro diving?
I think that's definitely its strength.
It is strength.
His has a really awesome white balance as well. So not only can you do the awesome Sony lenses for any kind of shot, but it specializes in the wide angle because you can color. You could do in camera white balance, and it's almost perfect before you even edit it.
Okay.
But mine, as long as I have the big lights for a
So
little
you need
critter, the coloration is perfect.
I see. But do you still do editing after
Yeah.
all that? Yeah.
I don't really have to do a lot of color grading anymore with this camera, unless it's somewhere where the light doesn't reach with my lights. But yeah,
Okay, so speaking of lights, what do you use when you go on night dives?
lots of lights.
Lots of lights.
Ambient, sometimes
Our-
strobe, mostly ambience. But when we're filming small stuff, you don't need super powerful ones. Like I have big ones that film reefs.
Okay.
You only need like a affordable, cheap one.
He
that
even
can do
uses
the
like a
trick.
snoot with a light dot like this big.
So you
so it
isolate the
narrows it
subject,
real
black
small.
background.
Okay.
So we're a good team. If he's filming something with a tiny beam of light, I'll turn off my lights and not interfere. Like, you know what, in the video, disco or something.
Exactly.
And vice versa. He doesn't mess with my lighting if I'm filming first or whatever.
So you have your group going, you have your team
Yeah, so
going
what
on.
we're saying is sometimes when we're diving with a group of people, we're filming something nice, and then all the rest of the scuba divers come, everybody turns on their lights.
Oh.
They pick up
We're
the-
good at taking turns, or if it's something really rare that I've seen and I want him to film, I'm just over here guarding, like, stay back, people, stay back.
Okay,
I
okay.
know that feeling just.
I did that. I did that to
stay
her. I'll admit, I did it to her the other day.
Yeah, it was like, okay, never mind. You guys enjoy that.
I did it to her the other day because we found a super rare frogfish that we've never filmed. I've only seen once. Like, there's a frogfish biologist here. It's his favorite. And I was guarding it because there's other divers.
So he was like, no,
and
don't
she
come
thought I
here.
was like wasting my time because I wasn't filming it. I was waiting for him. And I was like keeping the sand away because it's floating in the air. And she's like tapping me. Can I go? I'm like, no.
And I said, okay, I'll go there.
Yeah. She didn't have a fit, so it was worth it.
But you also do, you have your own video camera, so you do a lot of videos as well.
Actually, I have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
It's like around 50,000 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But as of the moment, I'm not doing any videos yet. But I still remember my first video that I uploaded. It was in China. I did a DRT show. It's like a dive trade show. It's it's a show for divers. So I'm the third runner-up for that time, though. But it's still crazy, though.
I can imagine, yeah.
Like competing other countries. Though the USA won that, by the way, on that Yeah.
It's
He
like,
was the
yeah.
one
I didn't even know this existed, but
Yes. She this kind of, if you ask me if that what kind of fashion this is like, Finn always telling me like this kind of fashion is not about beauty, it's about how intelligent you are about underwater. Like mostly the people that I compete are the scientists, marine biologists,
Wow.
like
They know,
seriously, I'm like,
yeah, they
oh,
know
this is
marine
serious.
biology. You
Yeah.
know, they know what's in there. Yeah.
Speaking of Pura Vida, Sir Chris knows the owner of Miss Scuba International actually. So yeah, Sir Chris, right? Oh, so yeah, I still remember that was the video that I uploaded in my YouTube. It's like meeting people in a scuba industry.
That was the first
Yeah,
video.
that was for me. It's like I was mind blowing.
Yeah, even in the
How
Europe,
really
I mean,
big
they
the
think like,
community
oh,
is
you
for
can have
scuba diving.
anything to
Yeah.
You think it's just only for the Philippines?
But here, like, they're crazy.
It's a huge community.
Yeah, even in
yes.
the Europe people, I mean, they think like, oh, we can't even have anything to scuba there, but actually there's a lot. Like here, like they're crazy to come here in the Philippines too.
Yeah.
When I'm bringing the Philippines sash, people always say, hey, how's the diving in the Philippines? Like, oh, like,
They know that the Philippines
Yes,
is
like,
a
they're
really
really
good
into
place for
we
diving.
know that Philippines is one of coral triangle.
Yeah.
So it's part of Malaysia. I think Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines are part of the triangle. So that's why they're really into it. I think Puravida was there. They have a booth there. I remember that
During that
yes,
show. Okay.
they have, and that's why I met Chris.
Okay.
Yes,
I
So-
see.
so basically the pandemic made the dream team for
Yeah.
scuba
Dream team.
scuba YouTube,
For
scuba tubers.
Scuba tubers. That's a
yes,
new
Scuba
word,
Tubers.
right?
It made the dream
think-
team.
I think
I
that's
see
gonna
the
catch
comments
on.
all the time. We're the
Scuba
dream team now.
Tubers.
Scuba tubers. The dream team scuba tubers. I like it. All right.
I don't think anybody else is doing it, but
Yeah.
well,
So as you can see, we love everything.
So,
ocean.
what made you like interested in scuba diving?
Oh, way back in 2011, someone's introduced me about scuba diving, and I said, "Oh, I was so fascinated about it actually." And then I said, "Like, wait, it's expensive actually."
It is an
It is too
expensive.
expensive, and I
hobby,
said, like, I'm
yeah.
still studying, and I don't have enough of money, so I need to save money. And it takes for me 4 years to become a scuba diver. Actually, like,
Oh, wow.
4 years, like, we know that scuba diving is quite expensive.
But the passion was there.
yeah,
Why?
that's the one thing. The passion, because the first time I do scuba diving, I saw a whale shark. I always
The
making
whale shark.
Yeah, I always tease Finn about this because he never seen a whale shark yet in the
Really?
wild. In the wild.
In the wild, but you've seen the one in Oslo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't believe her at first until she
But
showed me the video
You saw the whale shark
on
and
her
I- in the
first
wild.
ever dive.
First ever dive, and I
Where?
showed the video. I got my scuba diving certified in Camiguin Island, so
Uh-huh.
it's just quite near. So Camiguin Island is like known for a lot of corals, and whole of the island is a protected area. So yeah, and it's quite near in my city, and I'm from Cagayan de Oro City,
Okay.
so that's why. And that makes me. And I will become more
Like it really ignited
Yeah,
that
it's like
passion
the passion
for
is there and everything.
scuba
like,
diving.
I would want to do this, and because of scuba diving, that's why I met my partner here. Actually,
So that's another story, right? Where exactly did you meet? Like let's twist this interview a little bit.
No, we're not talking
no,
about relationship. This is
No,
not
no,
what I
no,
signed up
no.
for.
No, I don't.
But it's because of this passion for scuba diving that you guys met, and
Yeah.
became this dream team.
the passion is
Absolutely.
there. That's
Yeah.
why.
Okay. And so, for the three of you, this question, any diving tips that you have for our audience?
Diving tips.
Yes, diving tips.
I don't know if I have any tips for diving, but I would give like recommendations where to go.
Okay, yeah,
So-
that's a good one.
that's a
Yeah.
good one, yeah.
Especially in Philippines, because we have so much of variety. Just to look around where you're living. For example, I was living in Cebu,
Yeah.
so we have a lot of corals and sharks. We're missing the small stuff. So where we go, Anila or Darwin. So if you're in a location that has a lot of the same variety of critters, for example, then try to go to a place that has maybe big things.
Okay.
So just explore a lot of dive sites in the Philippines. There's so many of them.
There's so many of them, and you'll be listing them all in your channel.
Absolutely.
You'll be really
Every single
when
one
the
of them.
borders open.
When the borders open. So that's something that we can look forward to from your channel.
Absolutely, but that one is going to be my base from now on. So this is always going to be my main diving area. I would love to go check out other locations, of course.
Of course.
But I love that one.
But for now, there's still a lot that you can
Oh,
find here.
countless. We'll never get it all.
No.
Even 10 years in Darwin, we'll never film it all or see it all.
For sure.
For sure. Even Chris, the owner of Sea Explorers for Avida, probably he's been diving here for, 30 years? Probably there's still something that he sees every time he dives. So.
Yeah, Chris is the most scuba addicted person I've ever met.
Okay.
He calls us up. He's like, "I'm bored at scuba." Exactly the same voice.
Exactly the same voice.
He says, "Hey, scuba time!" Like he wants to scuba more than we do. It's crazy.
Yeah. I can imagine him saying that. Exactly that voice.
It's scuba time.
I still remember how I met Chris before.
Mhm.
Like that time, like I was searching to become soon, after the crown, you need to
Yeah.
pass it to the other person. So I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna want to be a dive master. And I met Chris, and it's so funny. He said like, oh, you want to be a dive master? You want to work in my company? I was like,
Immediately
yeah,
offered
I was
you a
like,
job.
Why not? That would be amazing. I could be dive master. And then unfortunately, I met Finn. So
But-
things happened.
But
So
now you are what's your license?
I'm a rescue
Diver.
Yeah, I'll rescue.
So
Finn.
it's near. That's really close to being a scuba instructor.
Not really, not yet.
Dive
Dive
master.
master's next, but
and
I
then-
need to work on a lot of things.
So is that still something that you are aiming for?
But actually, my dream before is to become a marine biologist.
Okay.
And I did enroll myself last year in my school, but
Yeah, but then now everything is like
Yeah,
halted,
that's-
pandemic.
yeah, that's
and
pandemic.
so-
And why not? Maybe Suleiman is nearby. Why
Exactly.
not?
They do have a really good marine
Yeah, they're
biology course.
They're top.
Top notch. Yeah. So since you're here, it's just like a few minutes.
Oh, it's super cheap compared to the States. It's like a fraction of the price. And this is a Western university. Our friend is a professor of marine biology there from Austria. It's an awesome program, and it's compared to the States, it's a fraction of the price.
It's a fraction of the price, but it's an awesome program because they do
Yeah,
have
most
the
we talk
same
about
here.
that all the time.
Yeah.
Most marine biologist students, they never actually get to go out in the ocean and see. They can't even pick their specialty unless it's out of a fish tank, like whatever they can find in fish tanks. That's what they study. So,
But
you know,
here they have like
Yeah, it's a
the
perfect
university
location.
is in front of the sea.
yeah, there's
right?
perfect location. We meet these guys all the time, studying specific stuff.
So are you planning to have like an episode for your channel with some of the marine biologists?
I have lots of episodes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
During the pandemic, really, I interviewed a lot, and then even after I made friends, I've dove with a lot of them. There's a frogfish specialist here. He actually made a PADI course, and I took that. One of my friends is a seagrass specialist, which sounds super boring, but turns out all the cool stuff lives in the seagrass. So now I can find more critters. There's a goby specialist. I've dove with a lot of marine biologists lately. It's an awesome location.
I see. All right, awesome. So, one last question for you guys. What's up next? Like, you all have your YouTube channels. Like, what's in store for your audience? Let's
Me,
start with Sherlyn.
people really love to see me more and with the kids.
Oh, with the kids.
Yeah, they always messaging me like, oh, because aside from being scuba diving, I do mermaiding too. Actually,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I always I put that always in my YouTube channel, and so yeah, they want to see me with the kids enjoying what's in the ocean. And Well, why not? Maybe.
Yeah,
Why not? Why not? It would be nice to share to the new generations what's in there, and maybe that would be open their eyes to see. I'll become a scuba diver someday in the future.
Yeah.
So that would be one of my.
It's a good way to ignite that passion in
so
them
true.
for underwater and
then-
scuba diving. Yes.
I agree with that. So yeah, that's one of my habit goal.
I see. All right, so we'll be looking forward to more videos about the mermaid
Oh, yeah.
here in Darwin, and that'll be you.
Oh,
All right, thank you. And how about you, Justin?
A
What's in
lot
store
more
for
of the
your
same.
audience?
Well, actually, we have a top 10 critter list that we're trying to find and film. He has to see it and film it, or it doesn't count. And we're almost done already. So I think we're gonna make another list for seahorses, frogfish, and nudibranch, and try to. I mean, this is so nerdy. I don't know how, but try to find like as many different varieties as possible.
Yeah.
And then with Chris, I think we're gonna go do an awesome like scuba trip, like Kabilao and Sumalon or whatever, and that'll be a lot of good episodes.
Wow. There's
And
a
then
lot.
we're trying to make plans, but our plans keep getting messed up, lockdowns and stuff. So it'll include a lot of other locations of the Philippines after the end of the year, probably.
But it's getting better a little bit.
Yeah, but we make a plan because it's all completely open, and then the next day it's completely shut. So our Tubataha trip was canceled. We planned to make a road trip to Sipalai, and it's like impossible, and that's just the same island. And then we want to go to Romblon. We really, really want to go to Romblon because they have, I'm not saying it's a better critter spot, but they have different critters that we don't have, and we have stuff they don't have, but it'd be great to check out Romblon and Anilao. So lots of travel at the end of the year, even just Philippines.
Just within the Philippines, that's already a lot of travel and a lot of episodes to look forward to.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, there's so many good critter spots in the Philippines. That's why I'm here, but
I'm pretty sure your audience are looking forward to that. Since they can't travel, they will.
yeah, well,
They can't die.
I get messages all the time, especially Instagram and email, saying they're studying marine biology or they're in university, and because of my channel, they chose marine biology as their major or whatever. But now that I'm with Finn, all the Filipinos are like, I didn't even know this existed, and it's right there. You guys are used to the ocean, but you don't know what's in there.
Exactly, that's very true. So it's time for the Filipinos to
this is
discovering.
a sea-going nation, but nobody knows what's really in there, and it's amazing.
So you will be helping us discover what's under our waters.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm discovering it for myself, but you guys watch. It's a
We'll
plus.
go along with you.
If you want to watch, that'd be cool.
Awesome. All right, and how about you, Finn? What's in store for us?
Pretty much the same, except, as you know, all big plans went out of the window.
yeah.
We try to make a road trip, but it can change the next day. So as of now, we're just focusing on Darwin and what's in there.
Okay.
But we do have some plans of, there's some locations in the Philippines I want to visit each year, but it's the same story with that, waiting that for open. So it's just in the meanwhile, try to, enjoy what we have in front of us, make the best out of it, and continue to do what we do best, scuba diving. So even though we can't do what we dreamed of as of now in other locations, we're okay here. So
we're not disappointed at all.
Honestly, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, to be honest.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's such the opposite of 2020.
So, I mean, it's not too bad being locked down here.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
To be here.
Awesome. All right. So before we do end our show, I just want to ask each of you what your YouTube channels are, so that for our audience as well, if they want to search you and your YouTube channels and see what your videos are all about. Sherlyn, what's your
My
YouTube
YouTube
channel?
channel is Sherlyn Doloriel. So that's it. You can
That's
search
it.
me there.
And we'll put it in the description below. Finn?
Finn Snope?
Fin Snow. It's simply Fin Snow. And that's one word, right? One word. And of course,
Critter Hunter.
it's Critter Hunter. Yes. So just that's 2 words.
Yep.
Yep. So just search for their names. We'll put it below as well so that everyone who wants to check it out can do. Last question before we end. I believe that Jake over there has been featured in some of your. He's sleeping right now. What's his role in your channel?
He poops on the boat sometimes.
I sleep a lot.
Yes.
You know where I get his name?
Where?
You know, Adventure Time.
Jake from Adventure Time. Hi,
Yeah.
Jake.
Jake the dog
Hi.
and Finn the human.
Oh, this is Finn and Jake. Adventure Time because they do good. That's brilliant.
Jake is the most traveled dog in the Philippines.
Yeah, he's gonna be the most traveled dog in the Philippines, and there's never gonna be a boring moment if Jake is around.
Yes.
Hi, Jake.
Oh.
So this is again Finn and Jake.
Yeah.
Finn and Jake. And he doesn't bark.
Yeah, he's so friendly. but okay. Hi. Hi. Yeah, I can't say that. Yeah.
He's so
So he has been featured in some of your videos. What
Yeah, of
exactly
course.
does he do?
He has
He's-
a YouTube channel.
he has a
by the
YouTube
way.
channel.
Oh, okay. So let's feature that. What's his?
He is ambassador for one of the shops in Cebu.
Mhm.
Yeah,
What's the
he's
name
a
of
model.
his channel?
Jake the Adventure Beagle.
Jake the Adventure Beagle. So check it out, guys, as well, especially for those who loves dogs and what they do, right? And he's just like, yeah. So he's a model.
Yeah.
No, he just eats.
What does he usually do in this video?
Eats.
Just a dog. He
Just
runs
doing
around.
what dogs do.
Jake really
Just
he
a
played a
dog.
role for us, like a big role during the pandemic. Such a the best
Companion.
campaign
Ever.
during the pandemic time.
Their food bill
lockdown.
doubled.
Mhm. Okay.
Show
Well,
them
thank
high
you.
five. High five. Say high five. High five. babe.
Oh, good boy. All right.
Looking at your cookie.
That's what he
Put
wants.
his life.
Put his life.
Where's
That's
my
why me and
cookie?
Jake get along so good. We'll fight over that cookie.
Okay, well, thank you so much. This has been really wonderful, guys. Thank you for being in our show, Oceanclick TV. And so for everyone who is interested in knowing what our services are, just go to our website, oceanclick.biz, and to all our social media platforms as well. We are in Facebook, we are in Instagram, we are in Twitter, we are in YouTube, Oceanclick TV, and we are even in TikTok. So just search for us. That's Oceanclick VS Virtual Solutions, and you'll be able to find us there. We'll have all our links down below. So yes, please do subscribe as well. Thank you so much. We'll see you in our next episode.